cue. So let's say that black return rolls, and let's say he rolls, let's say he does hit, let's say a 5, but say he still keeps 1, let's say a 6, so he still keeps 1 on the bar. So black enters here on the 5 and hits red. Now, red is not going to be too worried about this. He's still pursuing the blitz strategy. Yes, he's been hit, and this checker will have to go all the way back here, and he'll now have 3 checkers back. But you're still pursuing the blitz. You're neglecting defence again. So let's say black does that, and red, let's give him, let's have another decision roll, a 4 and a 3. Now, you're still pursuing the blitz, remember. So what you want to do here is you want to come in with the 4. You've got to enter on either the 4 or the 3, of course. You can come in on the 4 and then hit again with the 3 from here. You're still blitzing, you're still going for him. Knocked his checker off. There we go. And you're hitting again. Still keeping him from entering, keeping him on the bar. Same principle. Hoping to make this point. You've got less chance of making it now on the next turn. You've only got the ones from here, and you'll be hoping to bring reinforcements down from your midpoint here, getting them in, or at least you've not been able to do it maybe on the next roll, but you're hoping to black will not get an advantageous entry here, and that you will be able to use your reinforcements to make more. So the blitz continues, and so it goes until you either achieve your aim with the blitz in keeping him out and closing your board, and therefore, you know, bringing the rest of your checkers round and hopefully winning the game, or hopefully winning a gammon, or until black escapes the blitz. And the way a player beats the blitz is to get an anchor, and this is why it's important for red to keep hitting. If red leaves black with a point that can be made, and it makes an anchor is a point in the home board that black would own in your home board if you were red. And I'll show that now. Supposing with the 4-3 here, I've shown you the correct play to do to continue the blitz. But supposing red didn't play this. Supposing here with the 4-3, the point there, instead of hitting, red plays this incorrectly. Let's say he's a bit timid about this, and he's thinking, oh, you know, I won't have enough support to make that point on subsequent turns, and it's all going deep. So I'll play a more safe roll, and he plays it incorrectly. Let's say he brings out his checker. Well, he's got to bring 1 off the bar, so he brings it to the 4. Well, let's say he brings the 3 down here, and thinking that, well, I've got 3 home board points, black has a checker on the bar, he's got a loose checker here, and I've brought builders down, I've got lots of chances to hit and make this point. So I'm not going to hit him loose, leaving a block here. I'm going to bring down reinforcements, builders, attackers for the next turn. And this is the wrong move here. This is how a blitz, if you're playing a blitz, you don't it's like playing chicken, you don't want to flinch. Because if you do this, and now let's say on black's turn he rolls something like a 5, 3, say. Now, what black will do now is the blitz is now lost, because black will enter on the 5 here, and he has an anchor. Let's say the 3 as well. He can cover that point there, and the 3. But black now has that anchor. He has that resilient anchor in red's home board. The blitz has failed because red can no longer hit on this point because it's safe, and black can leave this anchor there, and no matter even if black gets hit, he always will have this point to enter on. This point is now protected. It's a made point by black, an anchor, and so the blitz cannot continue. And now it may seem strange that because you see that red has a stronger board here, and it's got a lot of what might be builders, but it's now turned around. The game is now actually in black's favour because the blitz has failed, and it's in black's favour because of the timing. Red has so many checkers now in his home board. His position is structurally poor. They're spread out. They're not in any form of a prime or likely to become one in any time soon. He has 3 checkers back. So in this case, he's now on the defensive. This is what happens when a blitz play goes wrong. And even if on he's got some vulnerable blots here that can be hit and send even more checkers back. So, but even if, say on Red's next turn, he safeties some of these blots, so he's trying to get them round, and he, you know, he gets another to his point and another one inboard, relatively safe. The thing is, he's got with so many back checkers back here. If Black assembles any kind of prime, it manages to contain these in any way. If he, you know, the classic sort of prime starts building a prime here, like this, then he is going to have the position for a redouble in this sort of place. You know, in this sort of position, he can offer the cube back at some point here, and say, you know, redouble to 4, and it would likely be a take there. And you take it on 4, and now Red will be on the defensive, and this is the danger of a blitz that fizzles out because Red did not pursue it aggressively enough, and Black was able to get that anchor. 4 there in the checker tray this side. Black was able to get that anchor, and now is on the attack, and he has the redouble. And what will happen is, why this is so vulnerable now for Red, if Black contains these checkers, what will happen is, in higher rolled numbers, when Red cannot get these checkers out because of them being blocked, so he's got like more points here, higher numbers will start to either force checkers off Red's midpoint and leave them open down here somewhere, or it will collapse Red's board. He'll start having to scrunch it up towards the back here, leaving no defence, a lot of open points, so hitting will no longer be effective for him. And as long as Black can contain these checkers, he can stroll around at his leisure, roll the prime forward, and win the game, which will now be very valuable to him simply because of the redoubling. So that's a quick look at a blitz, how to play it, when to think about playing it. Obviously you've got to be careful about playing it if your opponent has any strength in their home board when you're thinking of playing a blitz. You've got to be careful because you're risking being hit, and if you're being hit and you can't be confident of re-entering fairly efficiently, blitz can stumble quickly. Also, if the opponent has a very strong prime or a potential for a strong prime, you want to think carefully about a blitz, because knowing that when you're being hit you're going to get trapped behind it and then your board's going to collapse. So that's some of the things to think about blitz play. Thanks very much for watching.